back for the Ideathon 2014, and I'm Sylvia Henderson, your host, and I am thrilled to be introducing my first guest expert today. Now that you're done hearing me, let me introduce to you a friend as well as a guest expert, a colleague of mine, Tassey Russo of Level Up Solutions, and a really quick...
Good morning, everyone.
Yes. So a real quick intro, in case you're not looking at the actual descriptions on the landing page. Tassey's going to be talking about the 4 steps to connect, captivate, and convert for your business. In this presentation, Tassey introduces you to the 4 key steps to structure and run your business so that you can, number 1, get work done. You can get shit done, in your business. Number 2, so you can leverage the opportunities that you have. And 3, so you can get clients. Isn't that what business is all about? So she's going to cover how to set up your daily tasks and how to prepare for special events and marketing campaigns, sort of like this event. And she's going to address how to integrate the parts of your business, creating smooth running operations. And I just read that poorly, but that's okay. We're going to discuss how to touch upon how to link together newsletters, blogs, websites, social media, and events to leverage them all for making more money. And here she is, not screwing up the intro, Tassey Russo.
Probably because what I'll do is end up screwing up somewhere in the presentation. So I first want to say thank you so much to Sylvia for that great introduction and also for having me here today. And I also want to thank you because I know that it's probably a gorgeous day wherever you are. And even if it's not, if it's raining, here's a fact, it's a Saturday. So that you're here with us today listening to business ideas and how to take your business a few steps further in its development and its success is really a compliment to you. And I want to make sure that I say that to you and I honor the fact that you're here spending time with us on probably what is a sizzling summer day. So thank you. And also I wanted to say to you that for me, to be here is really a thrill because it allows me to talk to you about something that really I've been working on for my own business for many years now and trying to really pull it together to understand it. So to present it to you today for the very first time, yes, that's right, conceptually, the idea that I'm presenting to you is introduced today, and it is going to be for you presented to take and really move on out into your business and develop your marketing in a stronger manner with more support. So really, let me step back. I don't want to take too much time, but for those of you who may not know me, let me just introduce myself briefly. I had a 25-year career in corporate America as a technology executive. And in 2005, I had decided that, I think what I would really love to do is to try to go out on my own. So I started my own business. Yeah, and we know what that means, right? We all think it's going to be fairly easy, if not easy. We know what we do, we know what we want to offer to people, so this should be pretty straightforward. And in reality, what I learned in the last 7 or 8 years is that it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of self-education and long hours. So what I want to do today is to help you understand how to put together more of an integrated or coordinated approach to something that's so integral to our businesses, marketing. How do we find customers? How do we connect with those customers? And how do we bring them into, if I may call it this, our business orbit? And I started doing this self-education and really conceptually looking at how to structure a business so that it was more efficiently and effectively run and really moved forward. Back when I was working in 2006 to 2010 with other small-scale businesses to help them put in technologies and systems and to understand administratively how to manage their businesses. After about 4 years of doing that, I decided, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not coming to work every day with that same level of excitement that I had when I started this a few years ago. And so since 2011, I've been working on moving my business and its focus into areas of business strategy and business advising, and also some coaching to selected clients who really wanted to take that real deep dive and bring their business up from the ground level foundationally, or to look at their business and to say, I've been working at this, but it's plateaued. How do I, what I like to call, amp it up? How do I step it up? And so I have been most recently working in the area of business coaching and strategy and consulting. So that's a little bit about me. But today, let's get into what we're going to talk about today. And as Sylvia had mentioned, I wanted to talk to you about connecting, about captivating and converting your clients. The topic today is circle of profit. And in reality, you'll see as you begin to create a circle of profit, you'll create further circles. And so that's why it becomes circles of profit. And there will be 4 key areas that I want you to really focus on as the core areas of your circle of profit. And those are the 4 steps in your marketing cycle, or what I'm introducing today as your circle of profit, that I really want you to know about. So let's get started. As I had said to you, I have really been involved in business advising and working through with my clients in helping them to establish their businesses or to move their businesses up in terms of development and in terms of really focusing on those 3 areas that are so important. How do you find the people with whom you can connect? How do you really engage those people? How do you create bona fide leads within your target market? And then ultimately, how do you convert to those clients? So for me, it really has been a matter of looking at the work that I do and moving it through to my clients in order to achieve 3 main things: getting work done, leveraging what you do and how you do it, and getting clients. Today, thinking about those 3 goals, those 3 main tasks that we have in our business, today I want to focus on how to integrate the various aspects of your marketing and how to really pull it all together so it's strategically situated for you to really take advantage of and get the most for the work effort, the monies, and the time that you invest in your marketing. But before I do that, there are 4 points that I want you to keep in mind. The first key point: there are lots of answers and solutions and approaches that you can take in setting up your business, running your business, putting together your marketing and your promotional campaigns, and it can be overwhelming. But the point I want you to remember is this. Don't get intimidated. Don't get intimidated by the technology. Don't get intimidated by the number of options that you have. Allow yourself to explore, ask questions of other people. Try things out, but by all means, don't feel there's just too much and you can't do it. Allow yourself the time to understand what's best for you. And to that, here's a second point. What particularly is it that you want to be in terms of your business? What type of business do you want to actually establish or run? Are you a solopreneur? Are you doing this on your own? Do you need a team? Do you want to be in a home office? Do you want to offer services virtually? Or for you, is it important to actually have an office that you can go to? An office that you can interact with other people, you can bring clients to. This would make a difference in terms of how you set your business up. Are you going to offer products, tangible products that people can touch? Or are you going to be service-based? These are the questions that you really need to ask yourself. And yes, I'm turning my page. Thank you. These are the questions that you really need to ask yourself when you're looking at how you begin to structure your business and how you begin to really look at the systems and the processes that you want to bring in. Here's the third point. What is it particularly that you want to achieve by bringing in a system, by establishing a process? What's the goal? What's the intent? Because one thing we know we don't want systems or processes that we can't use, or even worse, that really cause us to be less effective. And we certainly don't want to spend money and time on bringing those systems and processes into the office. So think about it. What is it that you want to be able to do? What goal do you want to achieve by having that particular system or process in your business structure? So here are some ideas. Bring in a system or establish a process that will save you time, that you are able to automate some steps that you take in the business. So time, that's important. You want to bring in a system or a process or an approach that really will allow you to step away from the tasks of managing or operating your business and allow you to move into those tasks in your business that make your brilliance come out, that allow your brilliance to shine. What do I mean by brilliance? That's your expertise, your skill. So you want to be sure that what you're doing is that which only you can do in your business and for your business. And by the way, marketing is one of those. So we've got time, we have a system or a process that takes tasks off your desk that you shouldn't be doing. Here's a third reason to bring a system or a process in. It enhances your client service, the quality of what you offer. This might be an issue of follow-up, automated follow-up. And remember, and I'll say this later on, the fortune is in the follow-up. So you want to have systems, you want to have a process that allows you to keep in touch with your clients or keep in touch with your followers. So that's a good reason to bring in a system or a process. And of course, you want to bring in those systems or processes or approaches that help you to make money. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to serve people, and to do that, we need to make money. So any system that brings you additional time, brings you a more effective way to communicate with your clients or your prospective customers, these are systems you want to bring in. So those are the 4 things that I definitely wanted you to remember. In terms of really now looking at what those systems can really mean for marketing and how we can establish our marketing so that we take advantage of systems and we take advantage of processes. This is what I wanted to talk about today. I'd like to talk about 4 conceptual goals that you should have in your business as a whole, but especially in terms of the guiding pillars or the guiding principles for any marketing that you do and any systems and any processes that you put in place for that marketing. So let's talk about those 5 foundational pillars that we want to be able to have for our marketing strategies and our marketing systems. Awaken, amplify, influence, and monetize. These are, as I say, the 4 principal areas of your circle of profit. In terms of really looking at these steps, we really do think of these as comprising a marketing approach. And traditionally, our marketing approach has been a marketing funnel. And I think most of you have probably heard that particular term. A marketing funnel is really those steps or that process by which you move a prospect or a lead from first connecting with you, having a conversation with you, through to ultimately buying your product or service. And traditionally, in this cycle, it has very much been that you have reached out to prospective clients. You have talked to them about what your product is or your service. You have shown them the details. And you've proposed through an oral conversation, through a written proposal, what it would mean for them to have your product. And they buy it. That's the traditional funnel approach. But notice how I talked about that. You find the clients. You approach the clients. You tell them the details of your product. And they buy it. You really are thinking of people just in terms of, okay, are they a lead? Is there a possible sale here? And how do I get the sale? And then you bring that sale to a close. But today, things are a little bit different. There's a shift. And if you could bring up the slide, Melissa, so that it's whole, so that people can see it, that would be great. Thank you. So here's the shift. We went from a product and a functionality and a need-based marketing funnel approach to an approach that's really based on awareness of the behavior of our clients. We've instead begun to look at how do people today feel? How do people today and over time, how do they experience different business situations? How do they handle different business challenges? And we sell to that. We market to that. So the traditional business funnel has actually become a marketing funnel based on behavior. And that's so important today because with technology and with everything that is at the hands of our audience today, our target market, from social media to smartphones and apps, it really is more in their hands to look around, to explore, to see what the possibilities are for their problems, for what their challenges are. They're not going to be as ready just to pick up that which is handy. So does that mean that the marketing funnel is up in smoke? That we can't use it anymore? No, absolutely not. And that's what I want to mention to you today and present to you today. Because what I'm asking you to do today is to think of the traditional marketing funnels not as the approach to take, but to instead not think that they're unusable, but let's reshape them. Let's reshape them in the form of a circle of profit. So in this circle, notice that you have those same 4 pillars: awaken, amplify, influence, and monetize. And what's so neat about this circle is that people can come into this circle at any point. Your prospective customers and clients can jump in and connect, can interact with you, can interact with your business offerings at any point in time. And you can reach out to them with any particular goal in mind, depending on where you interact with the people in this cycle. But I do think that it's good to start at the beginning of the cycle and to walk through and to understand all of the components of it. So even though we can't take what I like to refer to as a deep dive today, I do want to touch on every part of this and give you some insights about how this can become an effective marketing approach for you and some of the tools that you can use along the way as you move through the cycle and think about how you want to use it to market and how you want your clients and your prospective customers to move through this cycle. And by the way, I am leaving the slides up full screen so that you can really see them. You can understand the specifics. So I'm here, obviously, because you're listening to me, but I want to make sure that you can see the slides very clearly. And so for the next 10 minutes or so, you won't be seeing me, but I'll be talking and walking you through each one of these, what I like to think of as marketing orbs within this particular circle of profit. So let's get started. As we think of the circle of profit, there is in reality an outlying circle. And that outlying circle is one that gives you more specific knowledge of what it is specifically you want to be able to do with the clients and the people you move through your marketing cycle. And the words that you'll see here: connect, engage, impact, captivate, promote, convert. These are words for marketing. These are the goals that you want to have when you start reaching out and marketing your business to your potential clients. So let's walk through each one specifically. And let's start with awaken. Awaken is about connecting. It's really that initial contact that you have with your prospective clients. It's how they first come to know about you, how they first experience you. And this could be at a network meeting, through a book that you've written, social media posts, marketing collateral, maybe a brochure that they picked up when you exhibited at a conference. And frankly, it could be a casual meeting in the grocery store or on the sideline at a soccer game. Because as we all know, marketing can happen at any time and in any place. This is about connectivity, that initial connection. When you think in terms of networking, which is one of the most basic ways to connect with people as entrepreneurs, what I really want you to think about here is that it's not a necessary evil, that it's really an opportunity to meet others and to share what you offer with them. Look to really get involved, to participate in some local groups. Find groups of people that are like you, but also that offer you introductions to people in other areas of business, so that your services might be new and different to them. Networking is a very important connectivity point to really meet people and start your marketing cycle. And today, another point, what I like to call touch points, would be blog writing. And it's so important today that if you're not doing it, I really urge you to start. And here's why. I want to give you a few statistics. 6.7 million people blog today using blogging sites. 12 million people blog using social media. 80 B2B marketers, in other words, business-to-business marketing companies, generate 67% more leads by having blogs and having blogs available for their potential clients to connect with and gain information through. 67% more leads for B2B businesses. And companies that have a blog experience 97, let me say that again, 97% more inbound links to their website than those companies who do not have blogs. And an inbound link is nothing more than a person who sees or reads something, and here we're talking about reading a blog, seeing a link back to a website or having to go to the website to finish reading a blog. That's an inbound link. That's inbound marketing. You're bringing people to you. So this is a key connectivity point. And there are many blogging sites. If you don't have a website that's really today equipped for you to have your own blog up on your own site, think about starting to blog through some of the blogging sites that are available to you. And those would include Tumblr, Blogger, Typepad, LinkedIn, and then there are local community groups that also offer blogging opportunities. Tumblr is a good starting point. It's simpler to use, and you can put up shorter posts. Blogger, which is connected to Google, it's actually owned by Google, and because of that, it's a good site to blog on because anything that's connected to Google obviously has great search results. It's fairly easy to use. It has some good design elements, and of course, it has connectivity to Google. So that is Blogger. Typepad is actually not free, and for those individuals who are less tech savvy, Typepad is really not a good platform for blogging. But if you're comfortable with technology and doing more on your own, Typepad might be the way to go. And of course, I mentioned local community organizations will also have the opportunity for you to have a business blog or a special interest blog, so check into that. Here within, for example, Montgomery County in Maryland, MC Media has a blog that you can participate in, a blogging site. And I actually had a client who in the last year established a blog. She was talking about college preparation for high school students, and ultimately her blog was recognized by the state of Maryland, and she was given an award for community service. So that's a great way of connecting and awakening interest in what you do and the business services that you offer. And of course, don't forget, blog on your own website. Have a blogging page. Social media is another area of the awakened orb and where you can connect. I think we all know that. And I'm not going to say too much about it here. I instead want to be able to say this to you. Please follow the rules of the road of social media because that will establish your reputation. It will actually be very attractive to people, and they will want to connect and stay connected with you. So social media is important. And of course, another key touch point for connectivity to awaken interest is your is your website. So put up interesting content, have potentially guests come on and participate in what you offer within your website. Have it a good visual tool for you in terms of marketing. And the reason you'll hear me say visual, have imagery several times this morning is because it's been proven that over 50% of any blog post, website page, any connectivity that you might have in social media will gain more than 50% increased views, increased interaction if it's visual. So you do want to be able to include visual imagery. So these are some of the touch points. I'm not going to go into all of them, but these are the touch points for people to learn about you, for you to awaken their interest with you and to connect. As you begin to connect more and more with people, the term I want you to think about when you start thinking about marketing is amplify, increase people's awareness of you, increase their connectivity with you to the point that they are actually engaging with you. So what does engagement mean? Engagement is that step beyond awakening and connection. Engagement is about furthering the attraction so that it grows and it deepens. Engagement is about binding someone to what you offer. And as you begin to do this with the people that you've connected with, now you're going to add touch points. They're going to provide them more information, a greater understanding of who you are and what you offer. So the touch points that you have here will include newsletters, presentations, speeches, and yes, I had to add one more time, social media. Now notice I say add touch points. So the touch points that we had working for us in the first portion of our marketing circle, we don't stop doing those. We add to them. And here I will draw your attention to newsletters. If you haven't started a newsletter by this point in your marketing strategy, you should really be adding newsletters. And you can start out very simply. You can start out very inexpensively. One of the most common newsletter applications that people use is MailChimp. It's free. It's pretty straightforward to use and get started with. As you begin to want to do more through your newsletters and the contact lists that you establish in your newsletter software, you might look at those middle-of-the-road applications, Constant Contact, Aweber, Vertical Response, iContact, because these will offer you more advanced registration, event management, and follow-up capacity or functionality when you send out newsletters, when you interact with those contact lists. On the very high end, you do have Infusionsoft. That's one of the most common and I'm going to say most sought-after marketing tools because it's so inclusive of the entire marketing process. It's also very costly. So when you're looking at establishing newsletters and follow-up to newsletters, connecting those newsletters to your blogs, do look at gaining and putting in software that is going to be right for you at the level of your business development. And I want to talk just briefly about presentations and speeches. When you're clear and you're ready with your branding, when you have your marketing message and really your foundational business message, again, very clear, when it's right on target, and you can succinctly and consistently tell people what you do, why you do it, and what services you offer to them, that's when you really want to step out in a bigger way. And you do that through standing in front of people at a podium or in front of the room. And this is when you're going to do presentations and speeches. I know they can sound so intimidating, so start out small. Ask to speak to your local chamber. Ask to speak at a networking meeting. I had a business coach who once said, a group can consist of 2 people. I think that's a good approach to take when you think in terms of speaking to people, presenting to people. This really allows people to see you and to understand what you have to offer and how you offer it. And that's why I put it here, because it allows them to connect with you in that deeper way. It allows them to engage with you, because usually there is an interaction. We all have Q&A periods. So I do add here presentations and speeches. I would like to take a moment to touch upon social media a little bit more at this point, because this is the part of the process. And then moving into the third portion of the process on influence, that social media should really be taking off for you. And by taking off, what I mean is you should be planning your social media activities, and you should be really seeing it as a key factor in gaining visibility and allowing people to get to know you, to engage with you. And if you're still a little unsure about social media and whether or not you should do it, or usually it's how much should I do it? How involved should I get? It takes so much time. How much time should I spend with it? Here are the stats. And there's stats that are really tough to argue with. In terms of monthly active users, listen to these stats. There are 1.28 billion monthly active users on Facebook, 255 million monthly active users on Twitter, 187 million monthly active users on LinkedIn, 40 million monthly active users on Pinterest, and 540 million on Google+. Every month, astounding numbers of people are active within the social media channels. Don't you want to be talking to them? You should be. And here are some other interesting facts. The most common reason that people unlike a Facebook page is because it has uninteresting posts. Second fact, 75% of the engagement on a post happens in the first 5 hours. And let's not forget images. Images really draw people to the post. 500 million tweets are sent each day. 391 million user accounts on Twitter have no followers. Let me ask you this question. Are you one of those? So listen to what I said before that. There were 500 million tweets sent each day on Twitter. And yet 391 million user accounts are inactive. If you're one of those accounts, and if you hear the number of tweets that are going out every day and how you could be interacting with so many more people, let me say this to you. Find a way to become active on Twitter. And if you're unsure about LinkedIn, it's just this big mess of profiles and posts and discussions and groups. If that's what you're thinking about LinkedIn, here's a stat for you to consider. More than 2 users sign up for LinkedIn every day. So 2+ users. Every second of every day sign up to use LinkedIn. That's astounding. It's a social media channel you need to be on. Unsure about Pinterest? Okay, I admit it, there are mostly women on Pinterest. 80% of the users on Pinterest are women. 84% of those women stay active, and 50% of the men on Pinterest stay active. They're there looking at the pins. Do you have any pins out there for them to look at? Do you have information for them? Can they engage with you on Pinterest? Think about it. There are so many possible social media channels. Here's my advice to you. Find 2 channels where you believe your ideal clients actually are engaging. are showing up, are active. Find those 2 channels and start to, as I like to say, work it. Start to put out posts. Start to read what other people are posting. Like, share their posts. Interact with them. If they ask questions, especially how-to questions, and you know the answer, give them the answer. This is how you engage. This is how people begin to take note of you and begin to say, you know, I think I could ask her this question. This just happened to me yesterday. I met someone in a class, and I've been interacting with them on Facebook, and they had a question. And they sent me a private message asking if I could answer the question for them, if I could help them. That person remembered me and the fact that I could be of assistance to them. This is a deeper form of engagement. It amplifies my presence. You can leverage social media by making sure that you have a complete profile, a well thought out complete profile. Have a business account if it's possible to have a business account. And of course, it's true on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. You can have business accounts. So do establish yourself as a business. That's what you are. Act like it. Show up like it. Join groups in your industry sector. Join groups where you find people with your same interests. Or potentially look for educational institutions where your information could be a benefit for the students there. And as I said before, get graphic. Those are the posts that generate interest. So please get graphic in your posts. And the other thing here to really add is that you can begin to take what you have been doing in these areas and begin to move them now into what is the third portion of your circle of profit. And that is the particular focus on having an impact, being influential, coming to the point where people see what you offer, they know who you are, and they're really resonating with it. You've captivated them. You've captured their attention. That's what this portion of the cycle is. And it's here now that your touch points that you're going to add are going to be teleseminars and webinars, video and live streams. These are really some of the very best ways for you to interact with people and to have the impact and the influence that you want to have, because you're going to be able to help them, but also the impact and the influence that you want to have because this is what's going to draw people closer to you and say, you know, I've got to have more of what that person is offering. This is how you begin to really convert your prospective clients. So influence is your ability to cause a heightened awareness of what you offer and to cause a shift in your prospective client's sense of urgency for change and their belief that they can change. And here's the catch. Influence is causing that shift, that belief in change in your prospective client, and also ensuring that they believe that you're the one that can really make the shift happen for them. That's being influential. Excuse me. One of the very best ways to do this is to get up close and personal. We've talked about speeches and presentations. When you're at a teleseminar and a webinar with people, when they see you on a video, they hear your voice, they see tremendous information, and they really believe that they're coming to know you. And you are, at this particular point in time, piquing their interest, piquing their connection to you. And as I said, you're beginning to impact them and to captivate them, to bring them fully into your tribe, your community. And this is what you want. This is really a portion of the marketing cycle that people begin to trust you. People will not buy from you. They won't even listen to you at the level and to the degree that you want them to if they don't trust you at this portion of your cycle of profit. So that's why you want to get up close and personal, and what better way to do that than to actually run teleseminars or webinars. Show them videos, let them hear your voice, let them see you. I put in live streams, but that's really for those individuals who are comfortable on camera, have the facilities to really pull off a live stream. It's not for everyone, but I wanted to put it here because, again, it's a tremendous way for people to really connect with you in the most influential and in the most compelling a manner. I do want to give you a few stats on video. Video is really one of, if not the way for you today to really connect with people and to be influential. And YouTube, I didn't mention YouTube before on social media. Some of you may have noticed that. Here's where I want to mention YouTube. Here are some YouTube statistics. 1 billion and more active monthly users for YouTube. 6 billion hours of video are watched each month. Here's an astounding fact. 100 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. And YouTube reaches more U.S. adults ages 18 to 34 than any cable television network out there today. Okay, and you may say to me, well, that's not my ideal client base, 18 to 34-year-olds. And here's my response to you. How do you know that? If you can substantiate that, okay, I'm good with it. But here's the other fact. Those people do age, don't we all? They may not be your client base today, but they will be potentially in the future. So now you have your market, your marketing approach. You've moved people through your cycle. You've really captured them. You've resonated with them. Now it's the time to monetize. Now is the time to know that your tribe is there, waiting for you, ready to connect with you. This is the point where you can promote and convert. This is when you have calls to action. This is when you make your offers, products, programs, courses, memberships. This is when you begin to promote. This is the last major portion of your circle of profit. When you're in this particular part of the marketing circle, this is when you're really looking at nurturing. Remember I said, fortune is in the follow-up. This is the phase. You want to nurture. You want to give good quality information always. You want to give good service. You want to be sure that you're addressing the wants and the needs of those people who are following you, those people who have bought from you. You want to deepen the relationship that you have with them. You want to continually connect with them. So what happens at this point? You're now back to the beginning of the cycle. You're finding ways again to connect, to awaken or reawaken your relationship with those who are following you and those who have already connected with you. And this is why it's a circle of profit, because you keep going around. You never stop. You don't allow yourself to drop out like at the bottom of that traditional marketing funnel. Here, you keep going around, keep connecting, engaging. And ultimately, you can keep promoting and converting. So the cycle has started again. We have a complete cycle that we've gone through. And now you're thinking, how the heck do I get all this together and working for me? Well, here's the answer. Your website. Your website is the core of your circle of profit. Your website is where all parts of your business, your marketing activities, your customers, your customer services, they all come together in your website. You move people to and from this site. And that's why I put it at the central point in this circle of profit. We've spoken a lot about the tools, everything from newsletters to social media to presentations, teleseminars, even live streams. All of those tools for marketing, those systems or processes of marketing, come together in your website. They have to be incorporated into or integrated with the pages and the functions and the offerings that you have on your website. This really is what makes that circle of profit go round. Consider this. You have 3 types of presence that you have as a business owner. You have a written presence. So those are the newsletters, the blog articles, email marketing, and of course your website copy. You have a social presence, in-person meetings, speeches, radios, teleseminars, and again, social media. And you have a visual presence, YouTube, if you have YouTube videos, Pinterest, if you do Instagram posting, anything that's visual, including your website. So your presence, your written presence, your social presence, and your visual presence all come together here on your website. This is where you will move people to when they read your email or they read a blog post. And from this site, you will move people out to your offers, to your promotional activities, and then back again. It's very fluid. These arrows, they may look very static, but they're very fluid. And this is really for any leads that you have, clients, affiliates, anyone that you interact with. This is the place, your website, where they come to learn about you, where they come to understand you, and ultimately where they come to buy into your brand and your offerings. So it's the hub of your circle of profit. And all those other marketing activities and business activities and systems and processes all revolve around this hub. So imagine if you could so effectively select, yes, it's really me up there, and at some point very shortly you're going to see me again. But imagine if you could so effectively select, integrate, and implement a marketing strategy with just the right systems and processes to get your marketing streamlined, and streamlined in such a way that you actually did produce a circle of profit, that you had money, revenue consistently coming into your business, that those ebbs and flows that people talk about are really not as significant. You don't have as deep an ebb or as high a flow. Instead, it's more consistent. Isn't this what you would want? So just having that circle going around and seeing the money that it can bring in, that's really what we're looking for here. And that is what I believe the circle of profit can actually do for you. And Melissa, if you can bring me back up, that would be super. So I've really taken you through today what, again, I consider to be some key, and I'm going to go back to the circle of profit and keep this up here, to be the 4 main focal points of any marketing strategy. They have to always be in play. They have to always be top of mind for you, no matter what you're doing in your business. And again, they are awaken, amplify, influence, and monetize. And don't forget that outer ring, that outer circle, because that gives you a clue about how you should be really taking each of those main pillars, those foundational steps, and putting them into play. So I'm going to break here just for a moment to see if there are any questions. Any questions from anyone online? Okay. Anyone here? I think we have one question here in the audience. Trying to get their mic up.
If I want to add one new marketing tool to what I'm doing today, what would I add?
So the question was, if I had one new marketing tool that I wanted to add today to really effectively, I'm assuming effectively, get out there and have the influence and the impact to really cause people to sign on with you, I would have to say it would be video. Video, if you look at the statistics again of what I had mentioned for YouTube, 100 million hours of video going up on YouTube every minute. It's astounding. People go to YouTube to find out how to do things, to get information. That's one of the first places people head. And so video is so important. It's important to have a channel on YouTube. It's important to start creating videos and to put videos, whether they're videos where you can see yourself talking and they can see you, or if they're videos that have, you can create videos with PowerPoint and keep the activity and keep the interest of people moving. You never want people to sit and wait for what's coming next. You want them to be engaged, and you want to be able to captivate them. So video is one of the best forms to do that. So I would say start looking at video. Start out small. There are inexpensive programs out there, or use your smartphone to take some video and put it up on your website. Do a video blog post. Do a social media post that's just a video. And look at, and here's a key that I want to give everyone, when you do any of these marketing activities, always go back and look at the statistics And by that I mean track the activity, track the traffic that you receive when you send out a newsletter, when you put up a visual post, when you put up a blog post in Facebook. Are people looking at it? Are people liking it? Are people sharing it? And to what degree? Always go back and look at the effect that any part of your marketing has, because that's how you know whether you should continue to do it or you should change things up. If for today you have looked at this and you have said, there's that one thing I want to do to get my circle of profit going, then I'm thrilled. I'm so happy. If you're still wondering, how can I stop running in circles? How can I implement this? It's too overwhelming. How can I really start to build my own circle of profit? And Melissa, if you could bring this up full screen. What I would like to offer to you is to contact me and let's talk. I do offer 45-minute complimentary Step Up to Profits business breakthrough sessions. And in that business breakthrough session, we'll get some clarity around your marketing goals and the biggest challenge that you may have in creating your own circle of profit. And we'll make sure that you don't leave that phone conversation without some next steps to take to build that circle. Here you see the URL. Just go to this URL, www.levelupsolutions.info/Ideathon sessions. And you'll register for a session and I'll be back in touch with you shortly. Excuse me. I've so enjoyed being here with you today. I thank you, and I hope that this has really allowed you to take the time to look at your marketing and say, here's what I can do different. Thanks again. Sylvia, thank you.
Woohoo! Thank you, Tassey, for being.
Thank you.
For all of that great information. Stay.
Stay. She's got me staying.
Yeah. No, so how did you, all the stuff that you learned, all the stuff that you shared actually, how much have you invested in your learning? I mean, the value of what you're offering is like huge, but kind of share just a real quick, how much have you invested in years and time and, kind of expense to give what you've given to everybody?
Sylvia, I really think you hit on two of the things already. It's time and, of course, money.
That's right.
When I started in business about 8 years ago, I really decided that I was going to be very hands-on and I was going to work very closely with my clients, whether it was developing a website or writing a newsletter with them. And through that hands-on learning or really service process, because I had clients, I was learning. And if I didn't know how to do something, I went and I did my research, which is what I talked about, and I said, okay, I know I can do this, I know I can figure it out. And I just put my head down and I did that. But the other thing, more recently in the last year or two, because social media is so integral to everything that we do, I really go out now and read a lot of the blog posts that people are putting out there and learning the information that they have in some of the programs. Okay. If people are offering free webinars, so I'll give you a good example. This summer, I'm actually in a 12-week course on how to create inexpensive videos, because I know video is so crucial to marketing. I learned about the 12-week course through a free webinar that even if I hadn't followed up and taken the course, I was able to get from that free webinar 3 or 4 key pieces of information that I could take out and start to create videos in a different way. So it really is a matter of saying to yourself, I can do this. I'm not going to be overwhelmed by this. I'm going to start out small. I'm going to be reasonable about what's right for my business, and I'm going to keep building and keep augmenting. And where it's important, I'm going to get myself some help. So I've had lots of business coaches, and I've really taken advantage of being with people who have the expertise to guide me, and it's been invaluable.
Great. You know, thank you. And that I wanted people to appreciate what goes into, and that we're offering all day today, that same complimentary, that same free content. But, you know, it took a lot of time, it took a lot of your own investment in order to bring this kind of content to people. So I want people to make sure that they follow up with you and actually take advantage of your offer, because there's a lot in there, folks. So with that, thanks so much again for...
You're welcome.
And we will be right back in a few minutes with our next guest expert, Jane Lovis. So take a break. Don't go too far. We'll be back in about 50, 60 minutes or so.